You probably already know this, but it's definitely worth repeating. Instagram influencer marketing is critical for your e-commerce store's growth and success. Facebook IQ commissioned 2 studies back in 2019 to learn from people who turn to the platform regularly. The research revealed that Instagram is a platform that goes beyond awareness generation. It drives sales. 50% of the people surveyed say they made a purchase either in the moment or after seeing a product or service on Instagram. And that was 2019. Instagram has grown in leaps and bounds since then. Influencers have become a staple when it comes to marketing. That's why they get paid anywhere between $100 and over $4,000 to promote products on their accounts, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars if they're Kim Kardashian. As the platform grew, so did the number of influencers. So how can you find the ones that are right for you? That's what I'll be showing you in today's video, so stick around. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. As always, my name is Costin, and I'll be your host on this wild ride of Instagram influencer marketing. We have a lot of things to talk about, so no more wasting time. You're gonna need it if you follow the steps I'm gonna lay out for you. First things first, you need to think about what type of influencer you want to work with. Broadly speaking, there are 3 types of influencers. Micro-influencers that have between 1,000 and 10,000 followers, macro-influencers who have between 10,000 and 1,000,000 followers, and celebrities, the one that have over 1,000,000 followers. There are pros and cons of working with each of them. Micro-influencers can help you tap into tiny markets, so if you're looking to convert followers to customers, this is your best bet. The downside is that, in order to reach a wide enough audience, you need to partner up with hundreds of them. If you don't want to do that, then you should give macro-influencers a shot. As for celebrities, if it's a lot of awareness that you need, they're your best bet. But it's a little bit like putting all of your eggs into one basket. Plus, they're most likely promoting other products as well, and you definitely don't want to get lost in the crowd. A good tip here would be to find influencers in your niche that have crazy fans. Don't just go with the numbers, those influencers who have a massive following. The fewer and more engaged fans, the higher the chance your product will be embraced and will sell well. Before I move on to showing you how to find influencers, if you're enjoying the content so far, please make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos such as this one. Now, what you should do before you start looking for influencers is to create an influencer persona. Ask yourself these questions about your desired influencer. How old are they? Are they male or female? What's their educational background? What other social platforms do they use apart from Instagram? What do they do for leisure? What publications or website do they regularly read? Do they focus on a specific sub-niche? Would their followers be likely to engage with your product? And most importantly, what brand values align with these influencers? The more detailed the persona, the easier it will be for you to trim down the list and only contact those influencers that are a great fit for your brand. Since we know the type of influencers we want to work with and have an influencer persona in place, let's go about finding them. Finding influencers isn't that hard. It just takes a lot of time and effort, like all good things in life. The first thing you should do is explore hashtags that relate to your brand. It's better to find Instagrammers that have already talked about your brand or your product. They could be a good fit for your influencer campaign. You could start a bit more broad and then niche down. Just make sure you avoid high-density hashtags. For example, if you own a print-on-demand store and sell pug t-shirts, searching for the t-shirts hashtag won't do you any good. You'll get millions of results. You could start from the hashtag pug t-shirts. Or if you're based in Maryland, for example, pug t-shirts Maryland. Niche down as much as you can. That's where you'll find the people that are passionate about your subject and are most likely to connect with your brand. After you've done your research, you'll most likely end up with an entire list of names of people. But how do you differentiate the regular people that just post for fun from the actual influencers that treat Instagram as a business? Easy. Just look for 2 hashtags: sponsored and ad. Instagram requires influencers to put hashtag sponsored or hashtag ad into their posts to distinguish promotional content. If you see one of those hashtags, you can safely assume that they're influencers who have worked with other brands in the past, so they might work with you as well. That's how you build your database of potential influencers you might want to work with. As I've mentioned earlier, it's time consuming and involves a lot of manual labor. If you don't want to do that, or simply don't have the time, you're in luck. Nowadays, we have influencer marketing platforms in which you can find the right influencers with just a few clicks. This way, you get to save time, they have different parameters and sorting options, they're manageable and analytical. While I've left a few links in the description for a few platforms for you to check out, I'm going to briefly talk about Heepsy.com. We are in no way affiliated or sponsored by them. I just chose Heepsy because it's one of the few platforms that offer a free version, making it the ideal option for individuals, small businesses, or even agencies just starting out. Heepsy comes with some fantastic advanced targeting features, including demographic targeting, where you're able to filter the Instagram profiles by their audience's age range, location, interest, language, and gender, location targeting, where you can find influencers in just one city or country, keyword targeting, where you can look for influencers that have relevant keywords in their bio, metric targeting, do you only want to show micro-influencers with a minimum of 2,000 followers and a maximum of 10,000 followers, and lastly, contact information. You can only show influencers who have included their contact email in their bio. Once you've set your search parameters, the results are then pulled into a convenient list, so you can store all your target influencers in one place and review their Instagram posts. You need to review them because it's your job to choose the right ones. But how do you know which influencers will be the best fit for you and your business? That's what the vetting process is all about. It boils down to two key questions. Does this person fit with your brand, and do they have a solid engagement rate? Before you start to look at anything quantitative, the follower counts or engagement levels, it's important to build a list of influencers you think would be a genuinely good fit for your products and your brand. Does the influencer you're going to work with seem like someone you would want to be a customer? And would they actually use or wear your stuff? If not, then what's the point? Based on their Instagram feed and their stories, you should get a clear and consistent sense of who these influencers are, what topics they create content about, and their general style. Of course, the numbers have to be attractive as well. Engagement rates are important too, you know. You can work this stuff out by taking a quick glance. Look at the average amount of likes on each post. Take the last 4 to 10 posts, for example. Add up all the likes, divide them by the number of posts to get the average, and then divide that by the total number of followers. That will give you what's called the engagement rate. As long as the engagement rate is anywhere from 2 to 3% or up, that's a good mark of engagement. People with smaller audiences might have 8, 9, 10% engagement rates, which are really strong. Since Instagram isn't just about the likes, you can also take a peek at the comments on each influencer's post to see what kind of conversations they're having with the community. If the comments seem real and not just a stream of single-word sentences, that's a good sign they're for real. Beware of fake influencers. Vague comments like nice pic or cool dress or looking good are regarded as fake. Signs to recognize real followers are they ask questions, make personal statements, and they tag their friends in the comments. Another way to vet influencers and see how they are in a business relationship is to see if they promoted another product in the past. Then contact that brand and ask them how their first interactions were with that particular influencer. Were they okay to work with? Did they deliver on their promise? Would they work with them again? You probably won't get a 100% response rate, but there's no harm in asking. And it only takes a few minutes to write a short message. If you follow the steps so far, it means you have a short list of influencers that match your brand and have a good engagement rate. Now comes the brass tacks. How much do you need to pay an influencer? The cost of an influencer campaign can vary depending on the individual. While there isn't necessarily a set formula for how much a campaign costs exactly, there are some guidelines on compensation. It depends what sort of content you are looking for, reviews versus shoutouts for example, and the specific requirements of your influencer marketing campaign. Some micro-influencers are happy to potentially promote a product in exchange for a freebie, but they need to be products that are aligned with their audience. For an influencer, it's all about trust and credibility, and over-monetization can undermine that. You have to look at your value proposition first. The key is to find a starting point for negotiations, which can vary depending on what influencer you choose, how your content is created, and how far their reach goes. Other factors which need to be looked at include more specific metrics, such as the length of the campaign, expected or actual engagement rate, and so on. While prices can fluctuate, most brands can expect to be charged around $1,000 per 100,000 followers, with prices per post starting at around $250 for influencers with under 50,000 followers. On the other end of the scale, stars like Kim Kardashian can charge around $250,000 per post. The guys over at influencermarketinghub.com have a cool free tool which you can use to see how much an influencer can charge for promoting a product. It isn't the exact sum they will charge, but it's a good guide to follow and a starting off point for a negotiation. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, make sure that you track the results of your influencer marketing campaign. To ensure that your partnership is working and creating the kind of engagement you expect, be sure to closely watch how each post performs. You can track link clicks, unique engagements, comments, uplifts, traffic, sales. There are a ton of metrics you should be monitoring on your online store's dashboard and analytics tools. Get all your tracking set up before you launch into the campaign. so that you'll be ready to analyze the data as it comes in. By tracking the response to each sponsor post, you can work with your influencer to determine what kind of content works best. This, in turn, can help inform any future campaigns you create, streamlining your marketing strategy and forming a more coherent vision of how your influencer's content is performing. That's how you find influencers to promote your brand on Instagram. If you've made it this far, you're a champ, and it means you're one step closer to building a profitable store and making it. If you take anything away from this video, take away these 3 suggestions. Start small and iterate, make sure the influencer aligns with your brand and campaign, and make sure your product is a natural fit to their audience, because nobody likes to be sold to. If you want more useful videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every week. And speaking of videos, why not click one of these right here? You'll be happy that you did. You'll get to see more of me. Other informative and life-changing info too, but you know, more of me. No? Oh, I'm gonna go now.